Good morning, everybody. Very warm greetings to everyone. I hope everybody has joined in. Welcome to our webinar, Serendipity. Serendipity in actuality means an unplanned, pleasant discovery. Research can find answers to things that are unknown, filling gaps in knowledge, and changing the way the healthcare professionals work. Today, we aim to guide you through the importance of research and conduction of quality research for better information. With that being said, I would like to welcome our illustrious speaker for the day, Dr. Mayuk Pandit, who will be illuminating us through his research odyssey. Welcome, sir. You can start.
I hope I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Bhumika, for such an introduction. And hello, everyone. I am Mayuk Pandit. I'm board certified researcher in entrepreneur, educator, author, and master in fine arts. I've been also been invited as guest speaker in various societies across the world. And coming to my honorary section, I am being appointed as Director of Inflame International Medicine and Clinical Research Wing, associated with Indian Medical Association and Juniors Doctors Network. I'm also serving as Ethical and Guideline Committee Board Member of Innovative Education Scientific Research Foundation. I am also Advisory Council Board Member in many prestigious societies across the world. I am also serving as editorial board member and peer reviewer in 29 international esteemed national journals. I have also received honorary and recognitions from different societies like European Academy of Neurology, American Academy of Neurology, Society and Archives of Neurology and Neurological Disorders, United States of America. I have received my board certification on November 2020 from Research Bureau Veritas, which is based in United Kingdom. And on top of it, I am the recipient of Asia's Best Researcher in Anatomy. I received this on 24th of November 2020 from ISSN Award Committee. And on 5th of August 2020, my work, Suicide Disease, got recognized and it got published in Indian Journal of Medical Psychiatry, which got awarded with India's Young Researchers Award from Institute of Scholar. So,
Thank you, sir. So, can you share your scientific achievements till date, sir?
yes, these are my scientific achievements. I have been recognized from different societies. I have been honored from different associations across the world, which I mentioned right now. But I consider my greatest achievement that day, the day I chose to serve the humanity, to serve the mankind, to bring a change in our traditional healthcare system, to cure the incurables, and to serve and save millions of lives out there. So I believe this will be my greatest achievement of choosing the path which is less taken, the road which is less taken by people or by our fraternity.
So, sir, what excites you about this particular research field?
For this, Bhumika, we have to travel back time in 2013 when I was just 13 years old. I saw grief and pain due to death. Yes, death is inevitable, but death due to lack of treatment or which can't be cured, which are incurables because of lack of research, made me realize that there's something to be done, because people suffer from various, my own grandparents suffered from a disease which was incurable and they suffered a horrific death. So that led me a challenge in myself that something needs to be done for betterment of our humanity, for betterment of our people. in this world. And I dreamt at that age, and I made a point that at that time to become that person when I will grow old, and to become that person who will cure every disease and any disease permanently. I know that seems a childish at that age, but my dream came into reality in 2017 when we were being taught about the distribution of cranial nerves. When I was a first student, when we were being taught about the cranial nerve distribution, and when we were being taught that there is a particular nerve, trigeminal nerve, which could produce the world's most excruciating pain the humanity has ever seen, and 50% of this people who have this disease commit suicide because of the unbearable pain. So on that day, I realized that I have that spark which was in my childhood. I felt that this need to be cured, and which have no cure, in fact, which have no permanent cure. There are medications, anticonvulsant medications such as carbamazepine, gabapentin, but they were there for to relieve pain for a short period of time. So yes, that was my beginning of my research career in 2017. I worked very hard. I read almost all papers on neurovascular completion syndromes. I read books. I followed up books. I used to work around 17 to 18 hours a day. And from 2017 to 2019, I faced huge difficulties because research is not. I believe research is a new to our system, our conventional education system, or is new to and anything you are doing or pursuing which is not known to people, you will face difficulties. Though I still didn't give hope, I faced lots of failures in my research as well as in my personal life. I faced lots of rejections, but I kept faith in myself that whatever I am doing something good for the humanity. So this thing made me realize that, and this thing was the fire in me, which I worked hard, and I have formulated various hypotheses initially in 2017. And 2017 I formulated for a year. I studied the disease, I observed the patterns. I have spent endless days in various mortuaries studying about a particular nerve. And after that when I have formulated a hypothesis, there were many, I have to formulate many hypotheses because some were correct, somewhere coming with possible outcomes, drawbacks. And I faced lots of rejection at that. And after that, in 2019, after working hard for 2 years, in 2019, I got my first work, Suicide Disease, which got published in Indian Journal of Medical Psychiatry, Volume 2, Issue 223, and it got published in September. I think September 2019, and that was my first achievement, first prolific work, because after a hard work for 2 years, I achieved that, and that inspired me to do a lot of research in other fields as well. And after a year, on 5th of August 2020, that paper, my first paper, Suicide Disease, which got published in Indian Journal of Medical Psychiatry, got awarded with India's Young Researchers Award, as you can see here in the back. So it got awarded with India's Young Researchers Award, gold-plated award on 5th of August by Institute of Scholars. So yes, I felt that more work to be done, and I started working on different other neurovascular completion syndromes, such as glossopharyngeal neuralgia, geniculate neuralgia, including Bell's palsy, hemifacial spasm, and I found out the cure. I'm working on other disease also, such as gout. I have recently made a publication on gout, and I believe I will be able to cure the disease which are incurables, and I will be able to inspire people who have a mentality or have a mindset like me to outcomes and who want to do in the future, doing something good for humanity. So this would be my most prolific work. And now what I am now working is upon is also a prolific, which I have not mentioned in earlier interviews or in earlier programs. I'm sharing it now, is that I'm authoring a book. It is named as Mathematical Derivation of Diseases. I am deriving every disease in our body in mathematical way, be its etiology, be its cause, be its treatment, which humanity or world has never seen as such. So I am authoring this book. This book would be published by end of this year. So yeah, that would be my best contribution, best significant work ever.
Thank you, sir. That was really
Yes.
inspiring.
Yes.
And sir, what qualities do you feel make a good researcher? And what is the scope and most important aspect of research?
Yes. See, Bhumika, before answering to your question, I have to focus on the word research. What does the word research means? If you find in Google, or if you go for, if you research the definition of research, you will find that this word research means developing or creation of new methodologies, or using the existing idea or methodology to create new statements, to create new ideas, or to create something innovative. But this is the definition, conventional definition. But what I feel research is doing something world has ever dreamt of, or world has ever imagined of. Creation of something which would, creation, it is in our field specifically, research. How I define is a creation of something which would save and change million of lives out there, as well as, and which would inspire, your work would be such an exemplary work which would inspire generations of generations to conduct such work. So this would be the definition of research according to my perspective. Now, if you tell me what are the qualities of being a good researcher, or what are the qualities should a researcher should carry, first point I would like to share is hardworking. Researchers should be very hardworking and passionate. If you are not hardworking, if you think that if you are just a lazy person, or it won't work out. Because from my experience, personal experience, I used to work out around 17 to 18 hours on a particular topic without expecting any possible outcomes. I knew that maybe it will be success one day, but I had that faith in me. No, I will work hard. I will strive for it. I will give my dedication, and I will go. I will be a success someday. So I worked hard, and you have to be very hardworking with passionate. You should be passionate about what you are doing. This will be my first point. You have to be hardworking and passionate. Second point, I will say that you have to be very determined, because at some point I felt that you will also feel when you will come in a research, you will feel that people will not encourage you, people will discourage you, people will bring you down, because this is something new. The society haven't adopted, or people don't want any change. Basically, why our nation is lacking is that our people do not want to change, or do not want to evolve. We blame our government or people or higher authorities, but we ourselves do not want to evolve. So this is my perspective, that if you have to be very determined, because people will bring you down. You have to keep a faith in yourself that whatever you are doing is good, is will have outcome someday. So just keep faith in yourself, be determined about what you are doing. And third point would be, you have to be very devoted. It's not like that you have a, after my interview, or you are seeing some motivational video, and you are getting this determination, this confidence, and you are just spending time, and after some time you left research. People usually lack interest, or people interest usually go away, because this is very hectic field. You have to sit all day long in your lab or in your workplace, studying, focusing, or having developing new ideas. So if you lack interest, or if your interest has gone away, I think it will be not a nice idea to come to in our research field, because it demands a lot of time, it demands a lot of hard work, it demands a lot of passion to it. So if you are passionate about it, if you are devoted to research, or if you are devoted to, if you have devoted to your previous fields, if you are devoted to studies, be it devoted to any field, you are welcome to research. And utmost important point would be money free minded. You have to have this mentality that uh, I am entering this research field for doing something good for humanity, for doing something beneficial for the society, not to earn money. People usually complains that we are research doesn't benefits, research doesn't have any monetary fundings and all, and these things are there. But if you have this mentality that I will earn, I want to be millionaire after becoming a scientist, because Elon Musk is a scientist himself, a world research person. If you have that mentality, you can't do means the efficient way. So you have to have a free minded that no, I'm entering into the research field because I want to do something good for humanity. Not that I want to earn, not that there are various other professions you can pursue. I'm not saying that earning money is bad. Of course, there are various mindsets on it, but there are different professions on it. You can join other professions for business, for entrepreneurship. So but research, you should not be greedy. You should not have this mentality of earning. So this is the important. What would be the important aspect of being a researcher? Is that researchers are, I believe, from my experience, researchers are those people in our society who wants to contribute something by changing our conventional system, be it conventional system of treatment or anything. So you have to have this mindset that I am going to change something for the betterment of people, for the betterment of society, so that people would be benefited by your work and generations would be inspired by your work, so that you are not only saving one life or you are not saving a group of life, you are inspiring your back generations or upcoming generations to do something good for our humanity. So I believe this would be the main key points: passionate and hardworking, determination, devotion, money free minded, and lastly is you have to have this mentality that I will do something good for humanity by changing our conventional system or utilizing our conventional system to benefit others, to benefit humanity.
Thank you, sir. It was really inspiring.
Thank you.
Bye. Sir, so what are the challenges of conducting a research? Did you face challenge impending your research work? If yes, then how did you overcome them?
Yes, challenges I faced in research is that challenges. Before talking about these challenges, I want to tell my audience a story, a very short story I would like to share. Okay, now let us imagine there is a group of 6 boys playing football in a forest area. Okay, so after playing, they become very tired and they became very hungry, and they wanted to have something. Okay, so they decided to go to their favorite place where there was a mango tree to have some fruits there. Okay, so the group of 6 boys decided to go there. After reaching a point, they saw a diversion where there are 2 roads. One road which takes the path to their favorite mango tree, which they have daily basis, okay, which they walk daily, which they go there, have fun, they have mangoes there, and which they go daily. And in fact, they sometimes fight in between them because of lack of fruits or because they have a small fight sometimes. Okay, so they decided to go there, but after reaching a diversion where there are 2 roads in front of them, one road was that their favorite beautiful mango tree. Another road, it was not even a road, it was a path. Okay, it was a path to somewhere which no one have ever walked upon, which no one have ever choose to walk upon. So they chose that path. So they chose that. So no, among the 6 boys, one boy chose to walk on that path. Okay, one boy chose to walk that road, which was full of thorny bushes, dangers, okay, and venomous snakes, and all possibilities of bad things was there. So naturally, group of 5 other boys, his friends started mocking him that are you mad? Are you crazy? Are you walking on that road? The road which leads to nowhere, the road which leads to no man's land, which leads to dangerous things. So why are you going in that? You come with us, you join with us. We will have some fruits here. Okay. So, but that boy said, no, I will walk here. Today I will explore what is not there, but what is not have been the path which not have been taken by anyone till date. So he decided to walk or started his journey from there to the path of unknown, to the path of dangers. And his friends were very timid. They were very timid. They were like saying, "Don't go. Are you mad? Are you crazy? You might die there. Okay, you might face use challenge. You might face venomous snakes and all. So they were basically creating a fear. So, but that boy determined to walk into that path which he decided. So he started walking, and yes, eventually walking for some times, he saw that the road is full of thorny bushes, and he faced difficulties. He faced pain because thorns were cutting. And after walking some at point, he suddenly felt pain in his foot. He saw that his foot is bleeding, and he got a cut. So he faced pain, he faced huge difficulty, but still he didn't give up. He walked, he took the path and he walked, and he wanted to see that where this road leads to, okay, and why people haven't gone there. He wanted to explore something new because of his daily routine, because of something innovative. So he walked, and he was severely bleeding in fact. So after walking to some point, he felt that things came in his mind that his friends were right. They were right, and they were like, they were saying that no, don't pursue that road because that road is nowhere. And he questioned himself. His confidence was down because he thought for a while that no, this leads to nowhere, and I made a wrong decision in my life, and maybe I am in danger. Maybe I will be now not able to return to my home. So he walked the path, and after walking some road or path, he suddenly felt dizziness, and he felt that he will faint away. So he fainted and he became unconscious. After some point of time, his friend sprinkled water on his face and told him that, Bravo, you made it. You explored thousands of mango trees here, which no one knew, which no one, in fact, have any knowledge about it. So they applauded him by saying that we always used to fight for a mango tree. We always used to fight for our fruits every day, but you have made it. You have made possible. You have benefited villagers by exploring this unknown. And people haven't chose that path because people have this mindset, this fear in them that this road is dangerous. We will not take it. We will not pursue it because of the possible danger, or because we don't know where this road leads. So everyone applauded him in the village. Everyone applauded him on the success of exploring thousands of trees there. So which benefited their villagers. So basically this story, what I told is about my life, about my challenges, my difficulties I faced. And in my research there was a point at a time where I was in the diversion myself, where a group of not only my friends, my esteemed prestigious people manipulated, who have manipulated maybe for my betterment, but I don't know what they have manipulated. They have told me that don't go to this path, don't walk into this path. It will lead you to nowhere. It will just get your degree, earn money, and live your life. What will you do by walking into this field? So what is the problem in our India or in our conventional system is that our education system teaches us to be in herd of cattle. Yes, I'm making this statement very highlighted, in herd of cattle, because when a student gets to college or in a field of medicine and dentistry, when they got to college, everyone teaches them what is a disease, okay, what is a disease, what is its treatment, but no one have taught us that there could be a possible treatment or possible better treatment than that. Or students, you work upon it. Students, you have you submit my assignment for tomorrow for betterment of the treatment. Or in fact, there are many incurables. Only it has been stated that these things have no cure till date. Or people or scientists are working upon to find this etiology, find its cause. So our conventional education teaches us to be in herd of cattle, teaches us to walk the path of a conventional system, to follow the footsteps of people who are already successful. And often many people have asked me that, sir, can we pursue BDS after NEET PG, after NEET UG? So I have because people have not accept because people don't like people often say that BDS is not, and I have also seen people who have worked hard for 4 to 5 years to get pursue MBBS, because what is problem with our generation is that dentistry is a huge field. Dentistry is really a, as I am myself from this field, I have pursued this field to study head and neck very precisely, but I believe this will have lot of opportunities, lot of options which people doesn't see, or which the mindset is different, because thousands of people, thousands of students per year want to pursue MBBS because they want to do some, they want to become doctor or something like that. So the mindset is that we follow the footsteps who are already successful. We don't see what is different, or what could be the possibilities of being different. And students often get discouraged after that. I always have motivated people who have came to me by asking what should we pursue, or if we get BTS, what should we do, should we drop a year? No, dentistry is a huge field of, in terms of academics, in terms of clinicals, in terms of research. There are lots of opportunities in there. So our conventional education teaches us to get MBBS, not BDS. Why this discrimination is there, I don't know, and I don't know when this discrimination or this stereotype would be over from our society. So lots of efficient doctors, efficient dental surgeons would be produced by our India, and the problems which is faced by our community, our fraternity would be resolved. Half of our problem would be resolved, because students are not happy themselves by joining BDS or pursuing different fields, because they do not get MBBS. There is nothing different. MBBS deals with the whole body, and this dentistry deals with head and neck. So there are different specialty for different professions. So I think you should accept. And coming back to my topic is that our conventional education teaches us to be in herd of cattle. They teaches us to follow the passions, follow the footsteps of successful people who have done good in their life, and destroy your own hobby, destroy your own passion, and don't go listen to the society, listen to people who are there. So I was also manipulated like that. I was also taught to be in herd of cattle, but I chose a different path. I chose a path which no one have traveled in my area, in my state. And yes, people have discouraged, and I faced huge difficulties, I faced huge failures in my lives. From that period, I discussed 2017 to 2019, but I didn't give hope, because I know I am doing something great for the humanity. I would be a success one day, and I don't want to be in herd of cattle. I want to be different. I want to do something contributory. I want my work would be exemplary for inspiration for generations after generations. But in my journey, I got support from my wonderful parents, world's best parents, who have always given their blessings and kind support. I got encouragement from our honorable principal, Dr. Sanjay Niyamati sir, who always have encouraged me in my research work for doing something good. And of course, I got support from my special ones, my friends, who always have been with my side forever, no matter what. So in this journey, with the support of wonderful people, my parents, I was able to overcome all the obstacles, all difficulties, and yes, I came with success, outcome with success, and I chose to be different. And I am working more. I'm working hard to do something betterment for our society.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So how to secure grants or funding for research projects, and also what are the various publication strategies to get our work recognized nationally and internationally?
Yes. See, there are various international as well as national agencies which provides research grants and research fundings. In our India, there is a very prestigious organization, National Center for Biological Sciences, under Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. My audience could go there and check once. The website is www.ncbs.in. You can see there they release every grant issues. You will get grant related information in that page, and you can apply also based on your eligibility. And there are in fact government agencies also. So what I will suggest to my audience is that you have subscribed to newsletter or you just have a check, because every year there are various agencies who provides research grants and fundings, and you subscribe to universities also which provides one. So at particular time when they release the funding information, you will get. So you can check the NCBS also. It's a very recognized one. And I would suggest everyone to go who wants to pursue research and who wants to secure grant or funding for their project, research project. Another one is ICMR STS, Indian Council of Medical Research Short-Term Studentship, which I think many people know in our meeting. You can go there, you can check the website. STS is a program which is given by ICMR. You will get a stipend money of 10,000 per month for 2-month issue, and you will be assigned a project. You can go to the website www.icmrsts.in. You can go and check the website also, which is benefited for BDS students as well. So these two are the research grant opportunities, I feel, and every year research grants are updated, the websites are updated. You should check up people who are in research. You can go and check their websites. And now, how to do publication or getting international recognition? See, here I want to elaborate one thing. Research and publications are two different things. There are many people, many students, or many students who are interested in research have asked me one common question that, sir, how will I do publication without any prior research knowledge or without any, some feels that if we do a publication, we will be from eminent researchers, we will be researchers, we will be internationally recognized. No, it is not like that. What I will suggest is that if you are new to our field, if you're new to research, first study or first observe the papers which or the topic which you chose for research. First you study the research or research work, previous research work which have been there, which have been already written by people, which have been which are recognized. You study those work, you have a deep knowledge. I have studied I have make a study on neurovascular compulsion syndrome for almost a year, and I used to study for approx 9 to 10 hours a day. I worked hard a lot. I studied the patterns. I studied the conventional methodologies of neurovascular compression syndromes. And then I was able to formulate hypothesis. So first study, then formulate hypothesis based on your study, based on your observation. Some of the hypotheses will be rejected. Some will be accepted. Some will be told to improve that. So do that. And when your hypothesis comes into a theory, a possible theory, then again there are many phases after that also. Then comes to publication. So research and publication are two broad terms which are interlinked, but there are lots of stages in between. So you first make a research, first study, formulate hypothesis, go to theory, and there are likewise many steps. So if anyone wants to pursue research, or if anyone wants to do research, I will provide my mail ID end of this meeting. You can contact me. I will guide you these steps. But now publication. Now you have your data, and your data should be unique. The data which you have which you have got in your research. After getting your data, you can think of publication only. So after securing or after getting your data, when you go for publication in index journals, in good index journals, you should see three things. Being a peer reviewer myself, I have reviewed almost 78 to 80 papers per year. So what I have seen is that, and what I have rejected maximum of papers is that of three things. First thing is plagiarism. This thing is very important because many people or many undergraduates I've seen in the work of the undergraduates, they tend to copy the facts which is already there, which is already existing. They tend to copy some line, they tend to copy, in fact, some data. I have seen papers who have copied everything and have published. So if you do that, it's a very bad. And also if that exceeds 40% of that, you might get suspended from your affiliated institution, or you might be banned from UGC, because these are all the guidelines under UGC. So your work should be unique. Your data, the data which you are providing in your work should be unique. It It should not be a copied data, or you should not take up data. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing would be fabrication. What is fabrication? Fabrication means dry labbing. Sometimes I have seen in various papers that people intends to copy, people intends to make up data. People, suppose they are not able to match their research, they are just making up data. They are just dry labbing the facts. They are making up the facts. If you make up, and if your work is under any peer reviewer, if he catches you, you will be in a great deal. You have to face lots of consequences. So your career might ruin. Research is very difficult because there are many factors to it, and publications is one of the most difficult thing. So plagiarism, fabrication, you should not make up any data. Whatever data you have, if it is valid, go for publication. If it is not valid, work on it. Yes, I also took time for around 2017 to 19. I took 2 years for publication. My work got published after 2 years of research, failures, success. Then it got, so take time. You do not have to be researcher in a single day. So it doesn't happens overnight. It takes lots of encouragement. I told of the qualities of being a researcher. So do not make up data. Do not copy any data. Okay. And last point will be falsification of data. Once you collect your data, don't falsify the information. Means don't give false data, or don't omit the data, or you are thinking that no, this data is not satisfactory, I will omit it. But if it comes to any peer review committee, you might get huge consequences. So fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism are the three most important factor, which I believe is true for which I believe can face you great consequences if you do not follow these protocols or guidelines. So these three things you should always keep in mind. And after publishing your fact in your standard and data, and one more thing I want to add is quality. Your quality should be very perfect, very unique. Your quality should be very high risk, because what happens in research is that many people across the world research on a topic, and your quality should be different from there. So quality matters a lot. So if you are providing a good quality to the publishers, your articles will be accepted, because what happens in publication also, you are submitting a manuscript, it goes to peer reviewer. Okay, so it goes to peer reviewer for almost 10 to 15 days. It takes a duration of 10 to 15 days. Peer reviewer accepts your publication, and he comments on your publication in your manuscript, and then he sends back to author via editorial assistant. The editorial assistant would get back to you and will say that peer reviewer have stated these corrections, you make these corrections, and you again resubmit it. So once you resubmit, peer reviewer, it feels that no, this could be published in journals, so it goes for publication. So this is the phase. So if in between peer reviewer sees that you are forging, or you are making up data, or you are omitting data, or you are copying data, you might face a huge consequences. So after publication, after getting published from a recognized journal, from a highly indexed journal, getting recognition will take time. In what happened in my case, that after getting published in my personal, I got invitation from different publishers to write. I have always, there are APC, article processing charges, but I have never given APC, because I was always invited by journals, by publications, by different journals across the world. Then I got invited from international journal, Scientific Review of Neuroscience and Psychology, United States. Now you will be getting invitation from different journals to write. Then you should give up your data. You should write. You should work hard. And after a month or so, if your work is good, if your work is brilliant, you will be getting recognition. It will be recognized. And there are many societies, many organizations who recognize research work. You will be getting recognitions eventually. So first, do a quality research work. So first, go for study, spend time, days of study, then go for formulating hypothesis, formulating thesis, then go for various stages, and likewise, you go for publication. And if your publication is good, if your quality is good, that will be published in later. That will be published in journals, and after that you will get, eventually you will get recognitions.
That was a really great insight, sir. So how to manage multiple research projects, deadlines, and to strike a balance between a personal and a professional life?
See, this is very important thing. Balance. The word balance means the. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Yes. The word balance means the word balance. What does this word balance means? The word balance means even distribution of weight. Okay, evenly distributing the weight. Okay, and I think someone is speaking. Can you mute it? Hello.
1 6, sir.
Yes.
So you can unmute and speak, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. So yes. So yeah, the word balance. I think someone's mic was on. Yes. So the word balance, right? What I was saying is that balance. The word balance means even distribution of weight, right? So distributing everything, every possible thing in evenly with proper time management would fetch you your aim. In my case, how I handle my personal and professional life is that I follow a daily based routine. I keep a routine of 10 to 12 hours a day. Okay, and this routine I follow on daily basis. I follow 10 to 12 hours of walking. In this duration I teach students. I am an educator also. I teach students. I work on my research fields. I am authoring a book, as I have mentioned. This is the only my working time. Okay, 10 to 12 hours a day. Sometimes it also takes 14 hours, but apart from this, I spend time with my family the rest of the time, with my friends, with my loved ones, and then the time which I spend for after reading novel, my favorite novel, or any web series. I do everything, but with the proper time management. Time management is very essential in our field, in our research. And also, if you can, there have been a lot of questions by my students. They often have said that, sir, we make a routine, but we are not able to achieve it. We are not able to uh, fully, we can't do whatever we are making a routine. So how will you, sir, guide us? My guidance would be that, see, seeing videos in YouTube, getting motivated for a day won't fetch you anything. You have to, it is said that you have to get out of your comfortable zone. You have to work hard, like every millennial wakes up early at 6 a.m, 5 a.m. These things I feel are bullshit, because these things won't fetch you anything. I guide them, be in your comfortable zone, be in your comfortable time, the time which you are there, the time which you are comfortable to wake up. Okay, if you are not able to wake up early at 4 or 5, you don't have to. Initially you don't have to. I'm not telling you to do your follow your daily base routine. You wake up at 7 or you wake up at 8 and you start your day. You make a routine like that. You are make a routine, daily based routine like that. I'm waking up at 7. I'm walking for 7 to 8 hours. I'm studying for 7 to 8 hours, and I'm doing my works like that. But if you wake up at 5 or 6, your mind will be not settled. Or I have seen people have complained. So first wake up at 7, first follow that routine for few weeks, for few days, standard it, like you have to follow this daily. You wake up at 7 or 8, and next day you're waking up at 10 or 12. That won't face you anything. So make a standard based routine. First make it in your comfortable zone. After that, when you are making it in comfortable zone, when you are seeing that you are being able to achieve it, and then you expand it. Like if you are waking up at 8, then you go to 7, then you go to 6. I think this way you will be able to achieve your goals, and this way you will be able to balance your personal and professional life. You will be able to spend a lot of time in your work, in your, maybe if it is a research work, if it is your academic studies, in anything. So maintaining a balance is very important, and the definition itself means even distribution of weight. So make a routine based on your comfortable zone first initially, and when you are able to achieve it, when you have that confidence, no, I can do this thing in this period of time, then you expand it. Then you make it possible that then you make it possible within 6 to you wake up at 6 or you wake up at 7. Like this way you can go on. Okay. So this would be my suggestion.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, would you like to give a takeaway message to our dental fraternity and also suggest some opportunities for them in research field?
Yes. My takeaway message to my audience, all audience of any fraternity, would be that every living planet in this universe is unique. So every one of us are great and unique, and we all possess a special ability or a special power inside us. And in our human race, some of people have recognized those special ability inside them, have worked hard for it, have given their dedication towards it, and became the heroes of our nation, or superheroes, rather in a comical way. But rest of the generation, rest of the people have followed their footsteps, have dreamed that I will become like him or I will become like her. But by following, it's not bad to follow footsteps of successful people, but what from my perspective, I believe to follow their footsteps, but you have that special ability inside you, which makes you unique by other living creatures or living human race. So, and that's what could change the world. That's what could change. You could serve the humanity. You could save millions of lives there, be it in any field. Okay. So, what my request to all my audience would be, dig out that special ability inside you, that special power inside you. Okay. And once you have find out that power, once you have find out that special unique character inside you, you believe it in yourself, you work hard for it, you follow your heart, no matter what, no matter how much failure you face in your life, no matter how much rejections, no matter how much backstabbings, no matter whatever you face in your life, because people will bring you down, because that's what I told, that's what our conventional system wants, to bring down with people who wants to do something good. So you follow your heart, you follow your passion, and just strive for it, just work hard for it. So once you are able to do, once you are able to work hard, you will see that you will be able to feel that you have done something good for your humanity. So don't follow the footsteps, or don't be in a very, again I'm taking this term, herd of cattle. Don't be in the herd of cattle. Don't be in what our conventional system wants you to be. Follow your own heart, follow your passion, and follow that special power, superpower inside you, rather in a comical way. So yes, you could be a hero someday, and someday I might receive a thankful note from you or many of you for becoming a successful human being and leaving your trace in the history of mankind. So this would be my mantra, this would be my suggestion. And one more thing I want to add upon to it is that any successful people become success, or become any success comes with a huge failure, or any people who are successful always have major failure, always have faced failure in their past. So if you are facing failure, or if you are facing any negative impact, just face it, just fight with it. Don't go to don't go to depression, or don't be sad, or don't be discouraged, because people will bring you down. People will never want you to be at up position. So follow your heart, dig out that special ability inside you, work hard, strive hard, and yes, you will be a great someday. And any queries or any doubts, you can mail me. My mail ID is mayukpandit17@gmail.com. I'm repeating it again, mayukpandit17@gmail.com. So this would be my basic suggestions.
Audience, if you guys have any questions, please you can put up in the chat box, and the sir will answer it. So sir, we received one question. So what
Yes.
topic should we consider for research?
Yes, this is a very important question. This was asked by many of my students and many of people who wants to do research. See, there you will get answer differently from different people or from different places. But from my point of view, I believe if you want to choose a topic in research, you first you should first you should first study, or you should first ask that what would I be research upon. There are many upcoming topics such as stem cells research, which needs which are in demand right now. Stem cells. There are many things, but from my perspective, you first ask yourself that from your academic field or your years of study, anything have interested you, anything, any disease or any topic or any study have drawn your attention. If that have done in your years, or if you are interested in any topic, you choose that topic. Again, I'm saying, repeating the thing, you choose that topic, you study on that topic. It could take years, it could take months, it could even take some days. You have a very good concept on that topic, you work hard on it, and you formulate hypotheses, you formulate theories against it, be it treatment, be it study. There are often there are various studies also. So choose topic according to your favorite subject or favorite specialty. But there are upcoming researches such as stem cells research, which are very demanding right now, I would say. But I won't suggest my audience to go to what people are doing. Choose what you want. Choose what you always have inspired you, or always have drawn your attention. Always you wanted to do something. So you can choose like that way. Choose the topic you wanted to do research. Okay. Basically.
Okay, so there's another
Yes.
question.
Yes.
So he asked like an overview of steps involved in research work.
Okay. Yes, steps as I have mentioned, research work, first you have to, I have mentioned earlier also, I'm repeating it. First you have to study the facts which is there in our research, which is there in our already existing facts, which are there in publications, which are there in different prestigious index journals. Okay. So first you have to study the facts. First you have to have a deep knowledge that what is there in what is existing in our world. Then after studying the facts, you have to study reference books. You have to have a good concept. Basically, what I want to say is you have to have a deep concept or grip on the topic you are selecting for the research. Okay, you should be able to answer everything, because you have to face lots of board meeting, or you have to face your guide, you have to face lots of people. So you have to have a very good grip on it. Okay, once you find it, you formulate various hypotheses, you have your own theory against the research, against the work you wanted to pursue. Once you have done, you verify it with experts. Okay, be it your guide. I don't have personally my guide. I have worked alone, and I have always been a self-made man. But if you want to have guide, you can have guide. You can ask your expert about your theory. You can get there. Being in undergraduation, if you are at undergraduation, so you can do that, and you can likewise you can go for it. So you first study the facts, what is there first, then formulate your hypothesis, then get it verified by your experts opinion or guides. They will guide you further, they will tell you the steps, because there are many steps after that. Okay, you have to have your theory should be unique, your data should be unique, your data should be different, because many people are in our India in research is very lagging, but in other countries uh, there are many eminent researchers, there are people who are involved in research. So your work should be unique, your work should be different, you have to verify yourself, your work. Okay, and after all these processes, it have to get registered under ethical committee, and there are many steps after that. So when you go for publication, again the same thing, your work should be plagiarism free, fabrication free, falsification free. And if all these things went well, you will be able to publish your data, you will be publish your first research work. This would be my from my point of view.
So we received one
Yes.
last question. So how
Yes.
to know that a particular area can become a part of research?
For that, you have to study by yourself. Suppose in our dental fraternity, I will take up for an example, I will take up one disease, Bell's palsy, right? Bell's palsy is a form of very deliberating disorder, okay, which I am also working right now. So there is a treatment of Bell's palsy. Steroids are given, corticosteroids, prednisone is given, but it takes a recovery of almost 2 to 3 months. Okay, so if you came across with such disease, there are many diseases. In fact, in our Western field of medicine, or in our field, hello.
Yes, sir,
Hello.
you can continue. You can continue.
Yes. Yes. In our field, what happens is that there are various diseases, and there are many diseases which doesn't have any cure. Yes, I am stating it. It needs research. If be it any disease you can name, which doesn't have proper cure, which doesn't have permanent cure. What we give is medicine, surgery. Yes, people are relieved by it, but there are diseases which needs to be researched, which needs to be reinvestigated, which needs to be worked upon. So you can select the topic you want according to your own specialty, according to your own favorite, because there are lots of topics. You can in fact mail me, I will guide you. If you are not able to decide which topic you want, okay, just ask yourself that anything in your years of study in medicine, in the field of medicine and dentistry, have excited you, have told you that no, this topic I can work upon, this is my field, this is my area I can contribute to. So you choose that topic, and there you will get thousands diseases which doesn't have any permanent cure. Okay, so there are many diseases, and if you are unable to find that, you can mail me. I have given my mail ID, mayukpandit17@gmail.com. I will help you out, and likewise you can go for research work. So yes, you can select like this.
Sir, one question is there in chat box.
Yes.
So, sir,
Yes.
could you give some insights on how to write a review paper?
Okay. Yes. Good question. Review paper. First, you have to how to write a paper. I'm giving it a short phrase. Review paper is basically a paper based upon the facts which is there. Okay. So before writing a review paper, you have to have a proper reference citation. If I expand on this, reference citation means the works which are already there, which already people have already done. Okay, which already you are reviewing the work which have already been made upon. Like you can check my review paper, which is there in Indian Journal of Medical Psychiatry, as well as in Journal of Surgery and Allied Sciences. Out of my 12 publications, I have written almost 3 to 4 review papers. And you can see the thing that you have to have a good reference citation first. You have to collect the facts, what is there, okay? What you are focusing, what you are researching on, that is reinvestigation. What the fact is being stated there, you are reinvestigating the facts, you are stating it in your way, in your language, in your statement, okay? So that is the review paper. That is how you write a review paper. So that is how you in review paper, the most important thing is review citation. You prepare an abstract about it, that what does your paper tells about, what does your paper depicts upon. Then you go to objective, then you go to discuss introduction. You have to introduce your work, your review work which you have made upon your topic, okay, your fact which you have collected, your data you have collected from various other works. And then under discussion, you have to discuss about your opinion. You have to state your opinion. Review paper doesn't mean copy and you are pasting that, or your discussion part will be written by you upon your opinion on the reviews you have made earlier, okay, reviews which you have collected earlier. So you collect that data, you have your opinion, you have your perspective in that, you write in that discussion part. And then you come to conclusion. You should give a very good conclusion which would draw attention to the readers, which would draw attention to various organizations, and that's why you get recognized internationally. So conclusion part is very important. If you go to my papers, you will see my conclusion part is very interesting, and it draws attention. So you should focus on the conclusion part very precisely. And last comes reference citation. So citation should be very important in review article or review paper, because you are stating the facts which is already there. So do a very careful citation. So mention the citation properly and systematically. So this is the pattern of writing a review paper. This would be the pattern of how to do a review research. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. This was really great insights towards the research field. I hope everyone enjoyed the session and got a lot of information, insights in the research field. So I would now request everyone to switch on the video for a group photo, please. Everyone, please switch on your videos. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time in your busy schedule and giving us all the insights and research. If you have attendees, if you have any doubts or anything, we have put up the mail ID of sir also in the chat box. Please to contact him. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Clinicus, for such an noble initiative. And thank you, Bhumika, for you did a wonderful hosting, and Team Clinicus is doing great. And yes, it is on the path to serve humanity. And thank you, every audience. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for guiding us today.
Thank you. Well.